Right now we're joined by our race winner and our number one seed in the 2014 Chase Grid, and that's Brad Keselowski. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Ford. He's joined by his car owner Roger Penske and his crew chief Paul Wolf. This is Brad's 4th win of the season. That leads everyone in the series. His 14th Sprint Cup Series win. His first win at Richmond. And Brad, congratulations not only on this win tonight, but you are the number 1 seed in the Chase Grid. And just talk about not only the victory tonight, but as you embark on trying to win your 2nd championship, you're leading the pack as we head to Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, it was just a phenomenal night for our team here and everyone at Team Penske and the Miller Lite Ford Fusion. Car was fast, pit crew was flawless. And we put all the pieces together tonight. The tire change was a huge challenge for all the teams tonight, and that challenge created an opportunity, and our team just really struck and hit it hard. And I'm very proud of our effort tonight, and I'm very proud of the result that comes from a win and what it means to the bigger picture of having the first seed entering the chase. That's really something. And we want to keep that going as we get through this next 10 weeks.
Let's hear from crew chief Paul Wolf. And Paul, congratulations. This race team has certainly asserted itself as being one to beat. And maybe just talk about not only this win tonight, it's a big win winning at Richmond, but it's also big to be the number 1 seed. And maybe talk about that.
Yeah, it definitely is. This team's shown a lot of speed all year long, and there's been some races over the summer months where I feel like, we didn't put all the pieces together, like Brad said. We have had some other dominating performances, but we've had races that, we felt like we had a shot to win, and we made mistakes or didn't put all the pieces together right. So last week I told Brad that, obviously it was going to be important that we've got the speed in our cars, but we've got to be able to execute. And to be able to come to Richmond tonight and do that, the race before the chase starts, says a lot about what we're capable of and what our team, can do as we get into the chase. So proud of the effort and proud of all the hard work that's been going on. We've been pushing the whole company, all the guys back at the shop, to continue to make our race cars better, and they've responded to that, and we've been able to bring cars to the track that can perform like they did tonight. So hats off to all those guys, and it's exciting to be able to get win 400 for the boss, and what that means for him. Obviously we're just a small part of those wins, but I'm glad we could be a part of it.
And Roger, congratulations on this win tonight, and also on the excellent season that you guys have had over there at Team Penske, as both Brad and Joey certainly have been outstanding through the first 26 races. Brad's the top seed, Joey's the 5th seed. Certainly both are contenders. And just talk about this season so far, and now your outlook as you head to Chicagoland.
Well, first, I want to congratulate Brad and Paul. Obviously, tonight was, a dominating run. It shows when we do get things together, the performance we have in the team. But I also think we got to think about Brad last year and, how he's bounced back. He was down maybe last year, but he came back this season. Has just been outstanding. And I give him a lot of credit because he's pushing the team. He's pushing Paul, obviously, with he and Joey together. They're working each other and trying to find the speed in the cars. But for us this last week, when you think about California and the IndyCar Championship and coming back here this weekend and getting our 400th win, got to thank this guy for getting it done. He told me before the race started, he said, I'm going to get you that 400. So to me, it's a pretty special time. But to compete at the level we are, and it's so close. I mean, this thing could go any way, and you lead that many laps, and if you don't execute. But to me, pit stops are important, and we obviously have put a lot of effort into that. And I'd say tonight, Paul, we execute in that area, but what you're going to have to do is execute in that last pit stop at Homestead. So, we take this in stride, and obviously being the top seed is a tremendous effort for the team, and certainly puts us in a great place. But we're not blind. We know there's plenty of guys out there that can beat us, and they're going to want to. So what we have to do is stay on course.
Thank you, Roger. A brief update, if I may, on the Jimmy Johnson is in the infield care center. He's being treated for dehydration. Thank you very much. Let's take questions now for either Brad Keselowski, Paul Wolf, or Roger Penske. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll start right here with Deb. We'll go George, and then we'll go to Lewis. Deb, George, Lewis.
Deb Williams, RacingToday.com. This is for Roger. You've already got the IndyCar Championship in hand. You finished 1-2 there. Now you're so strong over here. Is this the first time that you've ever been so strong in both series with the championship possibilities there? And if so, what having both teams in one location has played in that?
I think we said that when we moved everybody together under one roof, where we could cross-pollinize, the engineering. And we've moved a lot of people from NASCAR into Indy and vice versa from a technical standpoint, even over-the-wall guys. So to me, that's been a real opportunity. We want to be one team, and I think we were north and south. And at the end of the day, I think Tim Cindric said, let's pull them all together, and that's made a big difference. We had a chance in 2012 when Brad won the championship. We were leading it and then kicked the thing the last couple of races. So, this is a real effort for us, and obviously I'm thinking about that, but I know we got to get to Chicago and get on with it.
Let's go to George. Raise your hand there, right behind you, young lady. Thank you.
Yeah, Brad over here, George Diaz, Orlando Sentinel. Not too long ago, you mentioned that everybody was basically chasing the Hendrick cars. You've got one more victory than those other guys. Where do you think you kind of stand in the leading up to the chase now in terms of stacking up against the Hendricks guys?
Yeah, it's an interesting layout for the next 10 races. All the teams seem to have different strengths and weaknesses. I think over the summer stretch there were some tracks that were certainly in their wheelhouse. And I think we have a lot of tracks coming up that are in ours over the next few weeks. So it's really hard to say. It seems like everybody seems to find another level when it comes time for the chase, and there could be somebody out there sleeping. I think the Gibbs cars have been performing really well, at least at Atlanta and the weeks prior to that, and they could certainly be an issue and a threat as well. So, over the summer stretch, I thought we were a little bit behind, but boy, did we nail it right here tonight. So that's part of the fun. I don't know. Nobody knows. I do know that we have different strengths and weaknesses, but as to which ones are the strengths you need to have and which one are the weaknesses you can get away with or vice versa will knock you out, time will tell.
Let's go to Lewis and then Stan. Go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah, Louis Franco, Reuters. Brad, can you compare where you were in 2012 as you started the chase to where you are now starting the chase?
Well, I think we're a lot stronger right now, personally. I think we've been a threat to win more races. We have one more race win than what we did entering the chase in 2012. I feel more experienced and more confident. I feel like from a teammate standpoint, we have a very strong teammate, which having a great teammate isn't so much about the days where things are going your way. It's about the days where, and weekends, things aren't going your way, and having someone else to kind of lean on and find your sanity back. And we certainly had some of those days in 2012, and we have a teammate in a scenario there across the board where that team has gotten very, very strong and is part of our success. So, I think for a lot of reasons, I could go on forever, and I'm sure I'm leaving some things out, but that's not because they don't exist. But for a lot of reasons, I feel stronger than what we've ever been.
Go ahead, Stan, and then we'll take maybe one more. Go ahead, Stan.
Okay, Stan Creekmore. This question's for Paul Wolf. Paul, actually, it's two questions. Number one, did you all just hit a home run yesterday during practice and qualifying that made your race so good tonight?
Well, I don't know. We it seems that way, but we kind of approached the weekend like we do every other weekend, and we felt good about our car. And then to show the strength we had in qualifying was nice, but still wasn't 100% sure what we'd have for the race tonight. And Richmond's a tricky racetrack because trying to find that setup, for a short run versus a long run is two totally different setups sometimes. And I guess trying to find that happy medium there because you don't always know how the race is going to play out. And we've worked hard at that because I think in the past we've always had pretty good short run speed cars, but we feel like we're weak as longer runs go on. And we tried some different things this year to make that a little bit better. And I think we've gone in the right direction. And once we got the first adjustment there on the first pit stop, then I felt like we were real close, and then it was just a couple fine tuning from there.
Brad gets to rest for a day or two before everything gets intense for him. What about you? When does the intensity start for you to make sure that the next 10 races are the best you can possibly do?
Well, I'm pretty even keel, and if you haven't noticed, and I don't know that I change a whole lot. So I'm always intense, and I plan to be the same way. And we've tried to do a good job with all our guys and give them, some time and rest. As we know, these last 10 races are important, and we've still got quite a bit of testing coming up. So the way we're structured back at the shop and the work that those guys do at preparing the race cars, it allows us to give the road guys, the guys that travel a week and work on the car, their time to keep them well rested. And but for me, I'm always thinking about race cars and ways to do it, whether I'm at the racetrack or sitting at the house. So I'm ready to go do this, and I believe we can get it done.
Final question right here. Go ahead, sir.
Brad, can you tell us what went through your mind when the fence climber did his little thing up there and stopped the proceedings?
I'm sorry.
When the guy climbed the fence and brought the caution out.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that. Sorry, my bad. That was somebody climbed a fence? Really? Well, the Miller Lite was working. That's my reaction. Wow, that's something. Wonder if he got a selfie.
You got one in jail.
Yeah, he did.
All right, we do have a question in the press box. Go ahead, press box.
LeeSpencerMotorsport.com. For Roger Penske, can you just reflect on the 400 wins? Just what an illustrious career.
Well, when I think about it, I think of drivers and the team members and all the people at Team Penske over the years that have executed and continued to pull in the right direction. We've had some, world-class drivers, and certainly when I sit here with Paul and with Brad and Joey here this weekend, I think this demonstrates how lucky we are to be able to attract, this type of talent, on our team. And 400 wins took a long time, but I remember when we tried to get to 200, we got stuck there for a long time. But as we learn more and more about getting the right talent, and it's a continuity of having the same people week in and week out, and I think that's why Hendricks is so strong, because you go and look at his group and you see them year after year after year, and they know how to execute. So I take my hat off to Mike Nelson, and certainly today when you think about Travis Keisler and Tim Cindric, these people have been with us for a long time, so we've grown our people, and that's what it takes. Brad came on board. He wasn't sure what he was getting into, but you could see what he's been able to produce, and that's, I think, as I look back, it's Mark Donahue or Rick Mears or Bobby Unser, and you just look at the group over time, and every one of them has made a big difference, in the company.
Do we have time for one more? Anybody else? Let's get this gentleman right here. He hasn't had an opportunity. We'll get him and end right here.
Hey, Brad, Billy Fallon, Times-Dispatch. For 7 years, Ford hadn't won here, and now they've won 3 in a row, including a Penske sweep, of this year. What does that say about Ford coming along and how you guys are finding success?
Well, I was thinking after I answered Stan's question, and he was asking about, our strengths and where we stack from where we've been in years past. I think they're a large part of our strength. Their commitment level to our effort at Team Penske and their continuous support is part of why we're here where we're at. I think they've got a long runway and a group of in their leadership right now that really is passionate about racing, and that's what it takes to be successful. And that's why we're proud to be a part of their family and proud to be associated with them. So, I think with that passion at the top level of Ford and how it resonates its way down to the race teams, I would look for more success to come.
Congratulations to Brad Keselowski, Paul Wolf, Roger Penske, and everybody over at Team Penske on this win tonight, on being the top seed, and best of luck in the 2014 chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.